was kind of a little bit last minute, but I'm changing it up just a little bit, and we're going to talk about forecasting for 2021. And I think 2020, I think we're done with. We're done with the murder hornets. We're done with the coronavirus. We're done with elections, and we really need to start focusing in on 2021. But we also needed to learn some of the lessons that we, some of the lessons that we've learned through 2020. So, as a general rule in our firm, we start planning for the following year. It's actually the day before Thanksgiving, and I kind of picked that date for a couple reasons. One, it's right next to the day of Thanksgiving. And we always have to be thankful and reflect upon the year during Thanksgiving, and be thankful for where we are, and also reflect on where we're going. So in this time of Thanksgiving, it's truly time for us to start looking at, how was 2020 for you? And start looking towards 2021. It's so important to set aside time for goal setting and planning. We're all focused in on dealing with the crises that we're going through, whether trying to learn from the coronavirus, trying to get geared up for what is the election's going to hold, and what's this going to hold, and it's really time for us to really set aside some time. But November, if you take the step and start planning in November, you have a month before December ends before you can start implementing all those new changes that you want to do into 2021. So you almost need a good month to start working through those goals and getting prepared for those goals now, not wait until January. Everybody always gets ready for have New Year's resolutions. You really should be looking at your New Year's resolutions, whether it's your personal goals, financial goals, health goals, work goals. You need at least 30 days to start working through those goals, because I know, with health and things of that sort, we got to start developing habits and developing those routines. You can't really just say January 1, I'm going to start these goals. We need time to plan and start working through those. So truly right now we need to be reflecting and start working on goal setting. And if 2020 does not give us a perfect example of having a flexible budget and starting working through those, 2020 is a perfect example. I don't care if you've got a business, you've got personal finances, you got this, you got that. We really truly need to start looking at our budget and focus in on, what kind of goals do we have from a personal finance, and where can we cut from our finances? What are the issues? And same thing goes with our business. Do we have a slush fund? Do we have a fund that would carry us through the pandemic? No one, I can guarantee no one ever planned for a pandemic in their budget. But if you've done your budgeting and you've planned for the what ifs in the world, and sat back, and whether it's your personal finances or business and created a budget, it really gives you a better perspective and gets you moving forward. You need to start following some kind of savings routine. And this goes for business owners and personal. You need to have a routine. I follow Dave Ramsey a lot, and one of the things that he talks about is on the first of the month, whenever you get paid, if you take a certain portion out and put it into savings or put it into a retirement account or you put it away and you do that and it's removed from your bank account before you even start paying bills, you'll never miss it. So if you take that time and get into a routine of saving and putting a portion of your money away, and a perfect example is our taxes. We never miss the money that we had on our taxes because it's already removed from our paycheck. So if we do the same thing with our savings and automatically remove those from our account, same thing applies. I hear a lot of people saying, oh, I'm having a trouble this year with regards to in my business. And, one of the books that I read through this pandemic was Profit First. And it follows the same mechanism, same program of taking a percentage of your sales and pulling it out and paying it out as profit. So his theory is, in this book, was revenue minus profit equals expenses. So if we follow that mindset and we pay ourselves a profit first through our business, we'll actually, we'll have a profit at the end of the year. And if we don't have enough in our expenses, we actually have to start working
Rotary
on
speaker. So I'm missing Rotary or resuming on Rotary, I should say. So that's what it is.
We need to start focusing in on that savings and paying that profit first. Also organize a meeting with a financial planner, at all points in time, especially coming up this coming year. If you've got a loss in your business and you have some flexibility, or if you don't have as much income as prior years, but you've been saving up in taxes, you've got this loss coming up. I've been focusing in and telling clients, start looking at what's called Roth conversions by the end of the year. So talking to a financial planner, getting a plan in place before the end of the year is powerful. If anything, out of anything that we've learned too, is have an estate plan. And here's a conversation I had with a client yesterday. Husband's about to die. They're in the middle of a refinance and they have no power of attorney. So the wife can't sign the documents to close on the refinance because she has no financial power because the guy's sitting on a ventilator right now. So she has no power to go ahead and refinance her house. And that may cause an issue with her moving down the road in the next couple months if he passes away, because her income is not the same. Also, making these healthcare decisions. Do you want to be on a ventilator for a long period of time? At what point in time do you want to be pulled off of a ventilator? These are all important questions that we've learned that we really need to sit back and have a plan with regards to your estate plan. And just make sure your assets are secured. Do you truly have everything lined out the way you really want them to be lined out? So estate planning was something that we learned that towards 2021 is going to be important.
So on the credits insured and also says past due, but there is a sweeps account, like through their bank account, is negative like $19,000.
Refocus on relationships. Through 2020, if we have not found this out already, this is probably one of the biggest things. It's time for us to truly refocus on our relationships. Get off the internet. because Facebook friends are not always your friends. You know, and you know, politics. You know, we're in a time when politics is really drained our relationships, and we're putting things out there and talking about different topics, which are the key things that we've been told for years upon years never talk about with friends and family, which is politics and religion. It will always have an issue. You know, it's time for you to call customers, call your friends, call your family. You know, we can't get together like we used to through coronavirus, but you've got to take that affirmative action and reach out to those people that are important to you and make that affirmative step. You know, we don't have the ability to get together as often as we would like, especially during this holiday season. We need to take that affirmative step in the next, especially for the next couple months, to really refocus on the friends and relationships that we've got. If nothing else, be prepared to adapt. If you're willing to try new things, you know, you're not going to have any problems. But, you know, there's going to be events, and we've had so many events in the past 6 months, 8 months that have forced a lot of people to change. And that has made a big issue with regards to our employees, our family members and friends. You know, we're all in changing times, and it's really put a mental drain on all of us. But because there are a lot of people that don't like change in their life, and when they're forced to change, and the amount of change that has happened in the 8 months that has happened is truly huge. You know, no one really truly knows what 2021 is going to look like. But hopefully it's a lot better than 2020. But you know, you know, if we learned anything, that we need to be prepared for all situations. And with every situation, it's an opportunity to innovate, to change up our business model, change up what we're working on. If, you know, like this graphic shows, if plan A doesn't work, we need to think about plan B, C, D, and E, and be ready to change at a moment's notice. You know, and change is happening fairly quickly. You know, and then any kind of, you know, our kind of my final takeaways. Adversity really truly creates growth, and growth gives us opportunities. You know, and I think it's so important for us to remember, you know, and I've seen through the business community, there's a lot of adversity that's going on, but people are changing and adapting and working through these problems. And you know, some are being very successful at it. And there's others that are having problems with that adversity and are struggling. But through this adversity, there's always growth and there's always opportunities. And again, place that emphasis on relationships. You know, work on the family, work on friends, work in the community. I mean, there's so many opportunities for us to work as an organization and as a business leaders to work on our relationships and try to build those relationships. And, you know, reflect on the people in our workplace. You know, it's trying for everybody. And it's up to us to be that person to create that smile and create that energy that, we are going to make it all through. And lastly, and I can't ever emphasize this enough, support your local businesses, because as this pandemic has shrunk, Walmart and Amazon have gone absolutely nuts. And we're using Amazon and Walmart more and more. But a lot of these retailers and businesses are adapting and trying to work through that scenarios and getting their websites up to date and work through all these programs. Support them. Please support the guys, because they're the ones that are here in our community. They're the ones that are providing the jobs locally, and they'll be here to support our organization. So it's our time for us to really focus in on supporting those businesses, and get out there. Don't use Amazon to order your shoes, or go down to the local running store, order takeout, do whatever you can to support these businesses, because it's definitely a struggle for them. And I believe that's all I got.
Well, Todd, thank you very much. And I want to use these next few minutes to open it up to questions that anybody has about this topic. But I also want to throw open an invitation for members to share something that you've either learned as a result of the coronavirus, the panic or the pandemic, whatever, this year, or something that has turned out to be a good thing as a result of it. And I'll give you a couple of examples. While some businesses have got hurt, others have gotten helped tremendously. I mean, if you got a plexiglass company or a sanitizer company, you're probably having a very good year. And our company has been blessed in that sense too. But I guess one of the things that I'm thankful for the most is, while I may not be seeing my kids as often, I'm talking to them more over the phone. They're calling more almost every day, which as a parent, that's pretty cool to be able to connect with your kids and stay connected, even though they're off on their own and got their own lives. So I'm sure there's some other good things that have come out about this. And then I'd like to explore some of those with members. What have you guys seen that's come out of this that's been a good thing?
Wine stock is going up for those who have invested in any kind of alcohol stock.
Yep. Who else?
People have had a lot more opportunity to clean out all the junk that they have at home. The junk carriers are just talking about records of how much stuff people are getting rid of.
True.
The trouble is, earlier on, when you cleaned up your basement, all the places you can take and to get rid of it were closed. So all you did was shift it from one spot to another for a couple of months.
Mark, this is Rich. As a community, I really appreciate all the signs that I see in various business locations that, have the, heroes work here, sort of motto. I just don't recall that recognizing the frontline healthcare and safety workers that are out there battling this thing, in front of everybody else. So I just kind of have an appreciation for those businesses that are showing their appreciation.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm.
I think for me, the two things that come to mind are first of all, initial entitlement, like, you expect things to work a certain way. And then I think in the same sense, it has taught me, and I think others, just to be resilient, to be flexible, but to plan and then adapt after that. So that's been a good takeaway for me.
I think a corollary to that for me was Typically, there might be some apprehension when a Friday the 13th is approaching, but I figured after living through this much of 2020, Friday the 13th was nothing. I guess, Rich, you didn't want to say that one out loud.
I didn't want to start any controversy. I kind of like the videos that appeared early in the pandemic of remember the guy that was singing from his Italian balcony, and then in the city, apartment complexes that would get together nightly and, sing a song, or it's just kind of a fun way of sort of responding to it. I appreciated the positive way of responding to it.
Mm-hmm. Even though we're not getting to share these meetings live and in person, these Zoom meetings have opened it up to a wider variety of presentations that we've been able to see as well. And I'm kind of thankful for that.
I think a lot of businesses are going to find that how they've adjusted to COVID-19, when we finally get that under control, they're going to find that the business world has changed and the way you do business has changed as a result of having to adapt to COVID-19.
Yeah, there could be more people working from home.
Right.
There could be certainly more attention paid to sanitation.
Right, more online sales, the whole way you count things, inventory and the rest.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a generational effect. I mean, just like 2020 or 2001 with 9/11, and how that all impacted a generation. What's this? I mean, this will truly have a generational impact on our kids, on how they see the world. So I think it's definitely going to be impactful from that perspective.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Yep. Good point. Well, those are all good thoughts to consider. And Todd, I want to thank you for stepping in here, bringing this topic up, and allowing us to share some of those thoughts as well and get that conversation started. So if the members would give Todd a big round of applause for stepping in there today. So thank you, Todd. Couple other little quick announcements. We've got a board meeting, Zoom meeting tonight. There will not be a Rotary meeting next week. So I'm sure you're not surprised. It's next Thursday is Thanksgiving. We will return at this point to the Zoom format and for the foreseeable future until we have reason to think otherwise. And not next week, but the following week, Daryl Barrett has the program, and John Gibbons, you have the invocation. So unless there's any other thoughts or questions, I'd like to move to the four-way test. And then today also gives us the opportunity, since we're on Zoom, to go back to the breakout rooms. And I've asked Masada to make them a little bit fewer in number and maybe a little bit larger, so we get to chat with a few more folks. Because I don't know about, I miss seeing all of you guys and gals, and there's no reason why we still can't connect. And that's what the breakout rooms hope to achieve. So if you would, Masada, if you would unmute everybody, and we'll go through the four-way test.